Woman in Botany. What's inside a seed? Inside a seed is a plant waiting to happen. From the smallest of flowers to the tallest of trees, most plants on the planet comes from seeds. A seed coat keeps the seed cozy and safe. A baby plant called an embryo is snuggled inside along with nutrients for the plant to sprout. Wahani paid attention to seeds. She had the important job of growing all the food for her family and helping to feed her community. She knew exactly when to plant sunflower seeds in the spring. She sprouted squash seeds and a mixture of grass and leaves before sowing them in the field. In the autumn, she saved enough corn seeds for 2 seasons of planting, just in case the harvest was bad. As Wahani tended her crops, the seeds grew into the plants that feed many people. Wahani used traditional ways of planting that had been passed down for generations, even after she and her people were forced to leave their homeland. She shared her people's history and planting methods in books that were written about her life. Just like her, we rely on seeds to grow into the fruits, vegetables, and grains we eat every day. How does a seed become a plant? Every seed needs a few things to become a plant: water, light, the right temperature, and space to grow. When the seed is ready, it sends roots down into the soil. Then a stem grows up toward the light. You can see the plant when the stem pops up through the soil. There are some plants that have always grown well in gardens and on farms, but others grow best in the wild. When Elizabeth Coleman White was a girl, blueberries only grew wild in the forests. They were often hard to find. Elizabeth dreamt of a whole field of blueberries that she could easily pick. It seemed impossible. Many people had already tried and failed to grow blueberries on farms. Elizabeth used botany, the scientific study of plants, to make her dream come true. She planted blueberry bushes in soil that she and her research partner had specially prepared. After lots of hard work, she figured out how to grow blueberries on her farm. She sold them on markets, sent cuttings of bushes all over, and became known as the Blueberry Queen. Thanks to Elizabeth's persistence, blueberries are now grown and eaten all around the world. We eat plants, but what do plants eat? Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Plant leaves have a pigment of coloring that makes them green. It's called chlorophyll, and it absorbs light energy from the sun. That energy is used by the plant to help it combine water and carbon dioxide, which produces food. Photosynthesis also makes oxygen, which the plant releases through its leaves. That oxygen becomes an important part of the air we breathe. The incredible process of photosynthesis is one of the many reasons botanists travel the world studying plant life. Yanez Mexia was 51 years old when she began her global search for plants. Whether she had to cross a bog, canoe down a river, or camp out for months, she was determined to collect plants. Her passion made her unstoppable. She continued her expeditions even after she fell off a cliff. Yanez had an excellent memory that helped her quickly spot new plants. She collected almost 150,000 plant specimens to study. Some people dream of discovering just one new species of plant. Yanez discovered as many as 500 new species, many of which are named after her. Her work gave us a better understanding of plants and added to the Linnaean system. What's the Linnaean system? Just like a library organizes books, the Linnaean system organizes all life forms on Earth. It gives a scientist's name to every plant that has been discovered. It also acts like a family tree, showing us how many plants are related to one another. Almost 400,000 different species of plants have been found on Earth so far, and they can be full of surprises. Eelgrass and other marine plants live in salt water. Tiny wildflowers dot the icy tundra. Mosses are found in almost every ecosystem on Earth and even grow in sidewalk cracks. Giant sequoia trees live thousands of years and grow as tall as 31-story buildings. No matter where or how plants grow, the Linnaean system keeps track of them all. As we organize and study the plants that support life on Earth, we learn more ways they help us. How do plants help us? Plants give us so many things: food, water, dye, protection from the elements, healthy soil, shade, and even medicine. Long ago, Loredana Marcello Palace's garden were filled with beautiful plants. She ran experiments with the plants and used them for herbal medicines. When people in her city got very sick during the plague pandemic, Loredana medicines helped them feel better. In Loredana's time, herbal medicines were some of the only medicines available. Sometimes plants were boiled in water for a sick person to drink. Plants could also be dried and crushed, then mixed with fats to make ointments. Some traditional remedies are still used today, such as ginger for an upset stomach or aloe vera for a sunburn. Modern medicines look different than the herbal ones Loredana made, but many of them still come from plants. Plants are used to create medicines that lower fevers, reduce coughs, relieves pain, heals wounds, fight infections, and even treat cancers. Botanists today are still finding ways to use plants and even make new plants. How do botanists make new plants? Dr. Janicki spent years creating new plants called hybrids. These combinations of different plant varieties can be difficult to make, but she enjoyed working in the laboratory. She even had a squirrel that kept her company. Dr. Janicki faced a big challenge, creating a new sugarcane hybrid that would grow well in India. She tried many times before a hybrid was successful. The new, sweeter hybrid sugarcane she created is still enjoyed across the country today. Later, Dr. Janicki led the Botanical Survey of India. The project worked to document and study every type of plant in the country. It was a big job. India is over 1 million square miles. That's almost 3 million squirrel kilometers. She scoured the country for plants. She also fought to protect plants and preserve natural areas from being developed. Why is it important to protect plants? Plants are important for the health of Earth's environment. They provide a home for animals, fungi, insects, and many of the living things that support our plants' delicate ecosystems. When one part of the environment suffers, other parts suffer too. Dr. Wangari saw what happened when too many trees were cut down in the rainforest. The soil dried up, and people couldn't grow enough food. Animals almost lost their shelters and sources of food. Stream water evaporated in the hot sun. Dr. Wangari started the Green Belt movement to change things. She taught women in Kenya how to grow trees from seeds, and the women were paid to plant trees all around the country. As the trees grew, the soil healed and food could be grown again. Animals returned to safety, and tree shade let streams flow once more. Dr. Wangari also led classes to strengthen and protect the small communities that relied on the trees. Not everyone wanted Dr. Wangari to speak out for the environment or fight for human rights. She was even arrested, but she kept planting trees. Dr. Wangari's world-changing work earned her a special award called a Nobel Peace Prize. Today, the Green Belt movement she began has planted over 50 million trees and improved the lives of many people. Plants give us so much. Yes, plants are powerful. They make life on Earth possible. They nourish our communities, improve our health, shelter and feed animals, heal and protect the environment, and make the world more beautiful. Give plants space to grow, and incredible things can happen. All it takes is a handful of seeds.